I heard somebody say recently, mental health is not a destination, but it's a process. And every day we are hoping to grow in our maturity. We live in a messed up world, though, that fights against that. We're constantly being hurt and wounded and offended by people or circumstances going on in the world. And we wonder, how do we get by? What is the process for becoming mentally healthy? Well, I believe that Jesus gives us some great advice. He says in Matthew, don't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to take care of itself, but be concerned about today. What was Jesus saying? He was saying that every day I have grace for today. Tomorrow's problems, they're tomorrow. We can't solve tomorrow's problems with today's wisdom and His grace and His power for today. That'll come on the day we need it. But today, we have everything we need. It reminds me of the picture in the Old Testament, in the book of Exodus, as the people were leaving bondage and coming into their promised land, this place of God's blessing, just like we are. They every day feasted on what was called manna. Manna was this bread-like substance that sustained them. In fact, they didn't even know what it meant. That's why in Hebrew it's called, what is it, or manna. And every day it took care of their needs. And this is part of what God does. Interestingly, if they tried to get 2 days worth, it would spoil. It's just like sometimes we go to church on Sunday or we have an encounter with God one day and we think that's going to sustain us for a while, but it really doesn't. Every day we need God's manna. How do we get that? Well, I start out in the morning, even before I'm out of bed, saying, God, thank you for this day. Thank you that you've created me and you are in control of my life in this world and you're going to lead me into everything. You're going to provide everything I need today. You're going to give me the grace and the love and the kindness to help others, and you're going to take care of whatever comes along. In a simple prayer like that, maybe what starts my day. But here's something interesting about the manna. The Bible says that when the sun came up, the manna evaporated. So the question we have to ask ourselves is, when does the sun come up on our day? For me, it's when I turn on my phone. The minute I turn on my phone or computer or some device, now, instead of putting God first and giving Him the first fruits of my day, I'm instead focused on me. The information, the entertainment, whatever it is I'm wanting that I'm going to get from someplace other than God. In those days, I don't get the manna that I need. So I encourage you, yes, mental health is not a destination. It is a process. But God designed the process so that we would walk with Him, so that we would feast on Him and manna every day. That's what God wants to do in your life.